This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cattles.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think this was a statement win, statement game for the Patriots?
I do. From a mentality standpoint. Again, I don't think they played clean, and I think they needed Buffalo to not play clean. But the fact that this was, to me, the biggest challenge, right? Like, you and I disagree on how Will Campbell played. I thought he played really good in pass protection, especially given the noise, the atmosphere. This is a team that played 3 of their first 4 games at Gillette. And the only road game they had was in Miami, which, Greg, you worked down there. You rooted for the Miami Dolphins when you were a little Bedard. You know that, that's not necessarily like the loudest crowd when you're on the road. So I thought just the atmosphere against Josh Allen, Super Bowl contender, primetime game, first time Drake's playing in primetime. I just think, the overarching kind of storylines, I thought it was a big game for them. And I thought it was a statement of, hey, look, we won't melt down, if we're facing a pretty big challenge on the road. And I thought, like, to me, that's the biggest takeaway is you have a really young team. They're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. And they, at least they canceled out some of the bad football. And you could say they played cleaner than Buffalo. And I thought that was the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah, so I would answer that as, and I will for my BSJ column, probably publishing on, Wednesday, would be yes and no. I mean, I would say it's a program statement win because it's proof of concept for the coaches. And, like you said, to go on that environment, and win a game like that against, a team with that reputation, it's great. It's going to get more buy-in, all that stuff. But if people are thinking like this is a statement that the Patriots are a good team right now, I would say not quite yet. I mean, quite possibly I need to see a little bit more. I mean, in a lot of ways, the Patriots should have lost this game. Stuff from, Boston Sports Inf about, how, they lost time of possession, lower passer rating, more penalty yards, fewer total yards, all that stuff. And the advanced analytics, we're not gaga about this win. I mean, in DVOA, the Patriots are now 21st. They were 20th last week. Offense is 13th. They were 13th last week. The defense is 27th. They were 28th last week. So, in a lot of ways, like it's sort of like, status quo. And we all know why, because, the Bills did not play well, especially offensively. But, I think the statement was, like I said at the top, was Drake Maye, that he's able to do this at that place against that player and elevate this team. Like, you got a guy that is capable of this, that can make these plays. And that's huge and gives everybody else confidence. And, it's huge for the program.
It's huge for the program too. For me, like if now Mike Vrabel has something to point to, right? Like, okay, you beat the bag out of Carolina, zippity doo dah. They stink. So you look at that, you say, okay, the Miami win was a nice win. It was an okay win, but it was a back and forth and you had plenty of mistakes there and blah, blah, blah. This is the game that Mike Vrabel, I think, if he needs any buy-in from anybody in that locker room, this is that type of win. Not because you played a clean game, not because you're now an elite team or a very good team, but this is something that the coaching staff can look at. And I'm sure you saw the video, Greg, in the locker room. Vrabel went right to that. Like right to that when he's giving the game balls away, he says, we're going to get you guys, in a place where you can win. We're going to tell you how to win. We're going to get you ready. And this builds confidence in the idea of this coaching staff is doing what's best for us. And I think if there's any question of belief or buy-in, that's the type of win on the road, that environment, Sunday Night Football against Josh Allen. That's the type of win that you can point to, especially early in your tenure as a program builder. That's the type of win that can help some of the guys get over the hump. I want to remind you quickly before we close this out with 3 Up, 3 Down with Greg. CLNS Media Network, Celtics All Access, behind-the-scenes content segments from many Celtics podcasts. Got the NBA History Channel, Patriots Press Pass that I discussed. That's Press Pass that I discussed earlier. And Bruins Rinkside as they get ready for their season opener.